the directive is adhered to.
Okay.
Right. So as a member of the extra class committee, we wrote a letter of permission to conduct extra classes to the metro director, and we seek the endorsement or the approval of the metro director before the extra classes is embargoed.
Referring to the metro director of education.
Education. Okay. So the extra classes issue, they've been commenting on it that we should the underlying word is a compulsory one. We shouldn't make it compulsory. As earlier on indicated, the parent teacher association must consent to this.
Now, talking of compulsory, there may be situations. A lot of students have complained actually that if you are not a part of it, you may not experience sort of a full rapport with the teacher, as in he will not relate to you in a rather nice way.
Well, my experience, I haven't seen a teacher trying to victimizing a student who is not taking part of the extra classes, right? So the point is, the teachers don't victimize. And again, on the issue of financing, the issue of teachers taking the money as a motivating factor. Well, we cannot deny the fact that the teachers are interested in the money. Well, money is important, and the teachers also may take it as a motivating factor for them to organize the extra classes. But one other important issue we should consider is the performance of the students. And as I indicated, as a former JHS was not performing previously well in the BEC, but with the introduction of the extra classes, parents consenting to it, agreeing to let their walls take part in the extra classes, the performance improved to a point that the JHS, as a former JHS, was one of the best performing schools as far as the BC is concerned in the year 2008. So when we ranked all the schools in Kumasi, the Media JHS was among the best 10. So okay, the extra classes brings improvement in the performance of the students.
Okay, that's coming from Amponsa Mensa. It's 19 minutes to 9. You're still on Community Watch on Focus 94. Let's quickly turn our attention to Adade Kwaku Boafu.
Yes, well, thank you, Atta. You see, one interesting thing we have to know about extra classes is it is actually, crafted to complement the efforts of academically feeble, students, and that is the essence or the rationale, behind the whole extra classes, agenda. So if some institutions or some basic schools decide to make it compulsory, it actually deviates the real agenda of it, because at the end of the day, we can understand that there are some people, there are some students who will sound academically, and with the number of hours they spend in schools, whatever the teachers teaches them sticks. But you see, the idea, as I'm saying, is that there teachers realize later on that there are some students who they think will need complementary efforts or assistance by them. So why don't we create that space and platform for them to be aided academically? But you see, as we always know, some people will always want to abuse their positions in the quest for money, right? Because there are in some basic schools, some students are the extra classes fees, it's embraced in the overall school fees, meaning it has become compulsory. And places where they don't embrace the extra classes fees in the school fees, what happens is, if you miss extra classes, you're beaten or something. So it is a real fact that some institutions, some basic schools are making the authorities of some basic schools are making it compulsory, and it is counteracting this agenda of non-compulsory fixing of extra classes. You see, sometimes when it started early on, you see, we know that in the days of our dad and moms, it wasn't there, but when it was instituted by some teachers, even some parents were advocating for those assistants for their wards and their weak wards academically. So they consulted teachers and they come to their houses and help those wards of theirs. But right now, you see, I can say that it has become a source of revenue for teachers, and that is why some teachers claim that, or some students, when you interact with them, that the teachers, some teachers create the impression that without the extra classes they can never pass the exams. But that is not the issue. The issue is the extra classes is actually meant for weaker students. So I don't understand why there should be classes on Saturdays, for instance, for students. For what apparent reason? You see, I believe that with a normal period of hours students spend in class from Monday to Friday, is actually enough for normal students. And you see, most people are going for those classes just because they have paid for it. They've paid for it due to the compulsory nature of their extra classes. Even well academically sound students are going for classes, not because they feel they have to go, but because they have paid for it. The authorities have created that platform. So you see, I believe strongly that that the extra classes concept is a real good, really sound one, right? But let's say, you see, why do we necessarily have to have vacation classes at all? For what apparent reason? You see, it is a waste of time, generally, because why does the academic timetable create that space for vacation, and yet teachers will gather and set classes, extra classes for students? I think it's not right.
Okay.
It is meant for weaker students, not for all students.
Okay. Thank you very much, Adate Kwakubwa. For 13 minutes to 9, still on your community watch on Focus 943. Bismarck was there, Champo.
Yeah, Chairman. Good evening to listeners.
I like the way you say Chairman.
Because you are the chairman of the program and you are the host, I have to call you Chairman.
Okay, accepted. Carry on.
Okay. In the first place, I think that the idea and the concept of extra classes is not necessarily wrong. And for me, I think it should not be made compulsory. I mean, people should be made to attend the extra classes from their own will. I mean, you look at the number of hours that the teachers spend in teaching the children from about 8 o'clock a.m. to about 2 p.m. or 4 p.m. In the afternoon. For me, I don't think it's a bad idea at all. But, I mean, as the teachers have always been complaining that that hours doesn't help them in terms of finishing their syllabus. That's the more reason why I am particularly thinking that it helped them to introduce the concept of the extra classes. But as my brother was saying, extra classes basically is for weaker students who are not able to assume all that the teachers are able to teach in the course of their main duration when the government has approved for them. So if you are willing to attend extra classes, fine, you may go to attend extra classes if you think that you cannot exhaust all the time to complete your syllabus. It's good for you. But we are in this country whereby some extra classes have been made compulsory by some teachers. And that's the more reason why people have a lot of problems about that. Chairman, I can tell you for a fact, with the JSS that I attended, way back in 98.